What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode. We've got a great one for you tonight, so I hope you're rocking with it. Uh, we're going to get into some different stuff, just trying to diversify the content, and I want to know what you guys like. Just put it down in the comments. I love to interact with you. I've even shot out somebody that said something not so nice. I interact. I read the comments. I reply to the comments. I want to interact with you all. Like I said, Discord is up. I've just got to load a few things on it so we can all get on there and exchange information together. But like I said, this is for all of us, and I want to know what you all think. So put your put your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Talk to me. Let's interact. We're all adults, hopefully, and I want to know what you guys think about it. So we've got some great content for you. I've been looking at some things, different things to look at that I might have some information on, and some stuff that I really don't have any information on, and maybe some of you can help me out. Problem is, I see a lot of people doing this that have zero information at all and just trying to put whatever videos out there and then expecting you all to say stuff about it. And I don't think that's how things should work. I think that you should have at least a decent amount of comprehension behind what you're putting out there. And yeah, I'll put something out there that I have zero information on. But I'm hoping some of you do. But most of the stuff that I put out there, I have some information on because, like I said, I've worked on black projects. I've been, a federal employee, NASA, Northrop, Lockheed, AeroQuest, Aerotech, all these places. So I've got my my perspective and my views on those things, but you guys might have something better and something more to add to the conversation. So this is a community thing. We're in this together. We're all going through this thing together. None of us are alone. So this is our community, and I hope you're rocking with it. So if you're rocking with it, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. That way you'll know when I'm putting things out there. Run the numbers up on the algorithm to get this awareness out there because I put stuff out there that I want to make sure. One thing, I'm a big family man, so I want to make sure, if you're a man and you want to keep your family safe, I'm trying to put information out there to where you're you can keep your family safe with some of the stuff that I put out there. And other things are just, WTF is going on in this world, and maybe we can help each other answer those types of things. But like I always say, don't believe anything that I say. Don't believe anything you see on these videos. As a disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only, but also do your research. I've done mine for decades, literally decades, just under 3 decades, but I've been doing my research. And I expect you to, if you don't know how to do your research, ask me. I will help you. I will gladly help you research because, as some of you know, I am in the IT field, but not just in the IT field. I'm in a pretty core position of the IT field. So I can help you learn to research. I can help you learn how to look things up, where to go, what to do. But I want us as a community to come together because we've got all of these elites. I'm not trying to give them that moniker. I'm not trying to say that they're actually more elite than us. No, not at all. Just that's the title that everybody knows them by, so that's why I use that name. But I want us to know how to fight them, how to get this information, how to steer clear of them, how to keep our families safe from them. These are my goals. And also, what the hell is going on in our world? It's like since 2012, things have flipped over. It has completely done a 180. and things are not like they used to be at all. So we need to know what's going on. We need to know why it's happening, and we need to know how to keep all of the negativity, all of the bad stuff, the bad intent, the bad vibrations, the negative stuff, keep that away from not only ourselves, but our loved ones. So that's where I'm at with that. I hope you're rocking with me. If you are, like I said, smash those buttons, run the number up on the algorithm, because the one power we do have on this platform, the one main power we have, is awareness. Awareness. We can put this out there so much to where people will get sick of it. But you know what? They'll hear it. They'll know it. They will never be able to say, oh no, I never heard of that. I never saw anyone talk about that. No, we're talking about it. We're doing it. We're making it to where we all know what needs to be done. And there's going to be some trial and error. There always is. It's called lesson learned. But all of us together in this community, we can get it done. So hope you're ready for it. I appreciate every last one of you. Just hit 400 subs. Thank you so much from the depths of my soul for everybody that's been rocking with me from day one. I can't express in this short amount of time in this intro of how much I truly appreciate each and every one of you that's been rocking with me from day one. But trust me, I appreciate it from the depths of my soul and my heart with nothing but love and compassion. I appreciate every last one of you that's rocking. So on that note, let's get it started.
Footage of mermaids and sirens caught on camera by a fisherman.
Where's she at? What the fuck is that noise, bro? What is that noise? Where are you? This is crazy. I heard it. I heard it. I hear it. Oh my God. That's crazy. That's nuts. That's crazy.
Bet you've missed it, didn't you? Listen again, closely. A soft, feminine voice saying, "Jump for me," followed by another shrill scream. After hearing that, Source decided to fall into his bunk and try to forget about whatever the hell it was. But that didn't last long, because soon after, things started to get physical and visual. Take a look.
Yo, what is that? What the fuck is that? We got another one over here? What are those?
When he runs up to the deck to see what it was banging on the wall outside his bunk, he catches two streamlined figures matching pace with the boat. Understandably, people were pretty suspicious of it, because it truly could have been anything, but Source 90 was quick to debunk a good few comments.
You know your boy Source 90 never cares what nobody says, because people are entitled to their opinion. Always. I'll never knock a motherfucker for thinking what I'm doing is fake or wrong, because that's his opinion. Absolutely. But if you're gonna talk about my outriggers, man, make sure you know that the boat I was on, that 5th video, was a different boat. And my outriggers are on the back of my boat, not the front. Peep game. Peep game. Yeah, outrigger. Got 2 of them located on the stern of the boat. There's the other one right there. And that video was shot from the wheelhouse.
So if it couldn't have been the boat equipment making shapes in the ocean, what the hell was it? And from here on out, it just gets more unexplainable. Check out what he found while he was fishing.
So I was fishing on this fishing trip, right? And something came up in the dredge. That looks like a tail to me. Looks like a tail of a bone to me. I'm gonna take that bone and go to the local university, which is UMass, go to their marine biology department and find out what the fuck that is, because I don't know about you, I'm curious. I got some questions. Look at that.
Now surely, there's a reasonable explanation as to what this is. It's a whale's tailbone or something normal, right? Well, that's what we all thought. He contacted the Whaling Museum to get the bone examined by an expert, but it just led us all to another dead end.
So today was the day. I got a call back from the Whaling Museum and they had an expert there who was willing to talk to me about the bone that I had found. But look at that, man. Look at those big monstrous animals. Look at those bones. That's crazy.
Don't move it loose.
He was there taking a whole bunch of photos, measuring the thing, emailing certain other people that he knows who might have other insight on it. Yeah, everybody's saying they never seen nothing like it. Usually the bones that come up are like vertebrae and stuff, but nobody's seen anything like this.
Take a photo, Bob asked me to take a photo of it.
Absolutely. You've never seen anything like this?
No. I don't know what it is.
That's crazy.
The expert was just as stumped as the rest of us. At this point, people began throwing around all sorts of ideas. Screaming dolphins, ARGs, and the ones that we've been thinking from the start. Not so Little Mermaids. If we take a quick deep dive, no pun intended, into Greek mythology, mermaids, or sirens, are dangerous creatures who would lure sailors out to sea with their enchanting voices. Portrayed in many works, such as the Physiologus, as beautiful women with fishtails, or as disturbing humanoid figures with razor-sharp teeth. And as we tread further into the domain of mythology, the more Source's videos seem to check out. Distant screams, soft voices asking him to jump, weird streamlined figures swimming along the boat, and a mystery tailbone, too small for a whale, but too big for most fishes in the area. It all seems a little too good. One could argue that the screams are added into the footage during editing. However, they also happen during his live streams.
Can you hear me? Yo, that shit was instantaneous, bro. Oh, I gotta watch my step out here, man. God damn. Where are you? Oh, that's over here. Wait, no, now it's there. Yo! can't hear it. Oh. That one echoed a lot. That one echoed from the other side of the damn boat. That one came from over here. Can you sing for me? Give me something. Give me a face. Give me a tail. Let me know I'm not crazy. It's the same freaking pitch, same sound and everything. Like.
And the cherry on top of this cake, after his videos went viral, the government rocked up, toting a whole laboratory with them.
You're gonna be out here doing testing. Testing what? What the fuck are you guys testing? That's what I want to know. We all know Source 90 has heard certain things out in the ocean, and then my TikTok gets banned, and then the government shows up my boat. It's too many fucking coincidences.
The logo on the side of the lab checks out as legit. The University National Oceanographic Laboratory System is an established organisation that researches the ocean and sea life. But why did they hop on Source's boat out of the blue? Commenters were pretty suspicious, saying that they could be tracking the boat, trying to find the supposed siren, or planning to silence him, especially considering there were so many.
So real quick, I'll just talk about this. So this guy, he was a, I believe he was a crab fisherman. You know, one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. You've seen a show on the Discovery Channel. You know, so he's one of those guys, and out there, and he's hearing sounds, but you know they're appealing to him. And these aren't all of the videos, but I've actually seen all of videos. And so at one point, they're on the dock playing their catch, and he can still hear them. They followed him all the way. Doc calling to him specifically. I don't know what causes them to call to him or attracted them to him. They're calling to him specifically, and he's like, what? No way, dude. At the dock? You came to the dock? You're all the way at the dock? Really? At the dock? Like, he is just shocked by that. So then he gets up out of his bunk one, and there's a government, just a small little room on his boat doing testing. And I don't know what they're testing. He doesn't know what they're testing, but you know, he's assigned to that boat. That's his home for however many months he's, you know, at sea with them, and he can't even see inside of that room. They're keeping everyone out because he made this public. And we don't hear from him. So just find it kind of strange. It seems pretty much in line with how things happen, the way they happen. But that was some.
Whistleblower exposes how governments, terrorists, and secret services launder money.
In the flows of money, those are your clients. You also have governments to deal with, multinationals. You have to deal with secret services, and what they now call terrorist organizations. You get all of the groups that are involved with the big money as clients. Then you start seeing the connections, so they might be compartmentalized as you just mentioned, regarding knowledge. But because I am in the middle, I see how they relate to another. You see the money coming from this place, then going to that place, etc. You keep gaining information and thereby an overview of what is really going on.
So do you have to serve and keep all of those groups happy, including terrorist organizations? You were trying to keep everybody happy?
Yes.
My God.
That was my job.
Keeping all the balls in the air.
Yes, indeed. So one of the things that I found out, I did not know that before, but now I do, is about secret services. You think they are there to serve and protect a people, country, etc., but they actually turn out to be the criminal organizations, to be more precise. The system is heavily so. We are talking about financing wars, creating wars, so basically creating a lot of misery in this world. So, lots of conflict.
This video behind me will completely change your perspective on life. If you've got 45 seconds, I highly recommend you watch it.
Is embarrassing 4 times. After the 4th time, write down what you hear.
That is embarrassing! That is embarrassing! That is embarrassing! That is embarrassing!
Interesting. Almost everyone here heard that is embarrassing. Okay, listen again and watch the screen. And when I cue you, write down what you hear.
That is embarrassing! 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 That is embarrassing!
It's freaky, isn't it? You heard the same thing every single time. Our eyes and ears take in electrical signals which our brains interpret based on our expectations. We don't see reality. We see our reality.
This video behind me will completely...
So the main thing about that is how your senses are dumb. You can only see, is it 1 to 3% of the entire light spectrum with our eyes. But people that have no eyes see vast amount of what we can see. Talking 70-80% of the light spectrum we see with no eyes. So this just goes to show that everything's perception, right? I'm very skilled at being able to put myself in other people's shoes. I don't know where that came from. I've just, maybe my travels and people I've met all over the world. I'm very good at putting myself into other people's shoes, per se, and understanding that. But this just goes to show that crowd manipulation is so easy to where play something like that and then you can put the words with it and everybody is going to think it's that. But if you were to play those same sounds and put something positive in there, they would all hear that. But they can do whatever they want with it. And you guys know I'm talking about is.
Right, flat earthers, I need your help. You can see that it's a rocket. Don't quite understand what goes on here, but it seems to go up. And then it seems to hit something. Explodes. Don't know what that's about. I appreciate your feedback. The second video is more interesting. For how to describe it. But it definitely looks like a ball in the middle of the sky rather than above us. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Right, flat earth.
So I've personally been witness to this. Like I said, I've worked for NASA, Northrop, Lockheed, uh, Aerotech, AeroQuest. I've worked for a lot of. I was a civil NASA, so a federal, but civil, basically a civil servant. And I've been to every NASA site in the continental US. Well, let me take that back. Every space and rocket center in the continental US. I have not been to JPL, California, out there. That's the only one I haven't gone to. But I did spend a lot of time in Cape Canaveral, Kennedy Space Station, where the rockets take off. And yeah, I've seen these things. I've done the simulations. I've been in the simulations personally to feel what 1 million pounds of thrust feels like. And then when it gets up and it does that little, they call this the twang. So, but yeah, I've always thought it was strange that what I watched personally, I couldn't see it hit, what's being called the firmament. I didn't see that specifically. What happens is, and the most dangerous thing is, you have to be so far away from the launch site because the launch site is basically a little piece of land that goes into a delta, and as soon as as soon as boosters get lit up and they start to take off, animals, talking crocodiles, cougars, talking all of these animals, snakes, everything just flood and just take off in the opposite direction. So when you're sitting there watching that, they're coming towards you. That's the most dangerous thing. Not to mention heat. Heat is the thing, but the animals. There's water all. It's Florida, so the animals take off, and you don't want to be the one that's standing there and just every kind of predator you can think of that's in Florida, coming at you. Not to mention they have they have an infestation of Burmese pythons as well as iguanas. It's big business trying to get because they're not native to Florida. So, and I used to have an 18-foot Burmese python, albino, white, had yellow on the top, and had red eyes, 18 feet long. I had it when I was a teenager, 15, 16, 17 years old. At 18 feet, I could take maybe 4 to 5 feet of it and lift it up over me. But that was it, and the rest of it would be on the ground. Massive snake. And at the biggest part, she was, let's see, was, there we go. She was about this big around in the middle. Not the entire thing, but midsection, that big around. It's a big snake. Excuse me. You don't want that kind of thing coming in because they're running for dear life, which is rare for a predator, and then they see something like you, impeding their running, and they're going to attack. So that's one of the most dangerous things. But I've never in person, and I've seen plenty of videos of it, so I know it happens. I'm just saying I've never seen in person where the whatever they launched off hit the firmament, did that. That's a new thing to me. I didn't see that in person, but I know it happens because we have video of it. I'm just saying I didn't personally see it. Would have loved to see it. I would have liked to know, I could have questioned people there saying, the hell was that? what was that? What did it hit? Why did it respond like that? Why did it seem to hit something and then seems like water is bursting through? I could have asked those questions. I just didn't see it.
They finally made it through the firmament.
Into the flight of Starship 33 Raptor engines powering. Flames holding the two stages together will release, and the Starship's second stage will ignite its engines. Starship will then separate from the Super Heavy booster and head to space, and at the same time, the three engines that are still firing on Super Heavy
and acquisition of Houston signal, Houston and New Orleans. Booster engine cut off. Stage separation.
See, I really, really wish I could have seen this in person. Um, I didn't see any of this when I was there, but also I was there back in the late 2000s. So you're talking 2006, 7, 8, 10. Um, but yeah, I never saw any of this, and I would have loved to have seen it. It's extremely interesting to me. I would want to know what are what would they tell me as an official federal employee? What would they tell me? Because we were compartmentalized, you know. I was we were all compartmentalized. I worked on certain projects. I worked on projects that sent these things, you know, into space or whatever they claim to be. But we were all compartmentalized. So I would work on something with my group, and I would be working right next to other people, and we had no idea what each other were working on. We knew what our titles were, but we had no idea what projects we worked on because it's compartmentalization. You're not allowed to talk about it. So, and that's and I wasn't in anything deep. I was in kind of, you know, super black project to where it was super secret. You know, I was at NASA. It really it really bothers me that I never got to see any of this in person. I still have friends there that see this stuff, and they don't even see this on. You know, I've seen. You know, my buddy was down there just a month ago helping something, and then he was there to watch the launch. And when the launch happened, he the whole thing, and I didn't see any of this, but maybe he didn't film the whole thing like this, or maybe he couldn't. Maybe he didn't have a camera that could, you know, see that far to get all of that. But there's there's people that are having congressional hearings about NASA now, saying, you know, is this all fake? Is the is this all this stuff that you're showing is this fake? And if so, then what is your plan? Because these are you know hundreds of billions of dollars that are sent to these programs. You know, they're getting this kind of government funding, these programs. If they're not real, you know, we can do a lot more with that money than what they're doing.
Have you ever seen someone's eyes not closed like this, but closed like this? Once. You know, most people say that's a reptilian, and they say these reptilians are among us. I think that's a whole bunch of bullshit. I do not think there's some fucking lizard people walking around. I do think that's good Rothschild propaganda. I really do.
I mean, given the fact that this is a simulation, a false realm, anything is possible, it's unlikely. More likely is there fourth dimensional beings that are astrally possessing people.
Yes. Now see, that makes sense. People in the fourth dimension on a much higher plane that don't have the density to be on a third dimensional plane like us because we have souls. Yes, I do see a possibility that they could take over people, especially if they're on drugs, if their vibration is low.
Okay, gather around, children, and I'm going to tell you how all of this ties together. And we're talking about how the story of Jesus is the story of the sun, is the story of your Kundalini awakening, is the number 9, is the story of Santa Claus. And for 99% of you, it's just going to go right over your head. You're not going to comprehend what I'm saying. That is why in the Gospel of Thomas, it is said that he will choose 1 out of every 1,000 and 2 out of every 10,000. But this is also what separates the 1% from the 99%. It's not money, even though most of you think it is. It's knowledge, because all of these secret societies, every single one of them are descendants from the Egyptian school of mystery. And despite what you think, thought, thoth, this is not up for debate. This is the truth. If you don't like it and you don't receive it, that is not my problem. The reason I am giving this information is because personally, I think information should be free, especially information of this caliber. No matter what anyone chooses to call me, I will never be called a gatekeeper. I also highly suggest that you don't just listen to me, that you go out and you do your own research. Now let's get it started and ha! So I would say that most people know the story of Jesus. Did you know that on December the 21st, the sun goes through a constellation called Crux, also known as Cross, where it is crucified, where the sun dies. Now, December 21st is the shortest and the darkest day of the year. The sun has died. Now, for the next 3 days, the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, this is what's known as the winter solstice. And the sun is dead and in the tomb until December 25th. Christmas, where the sun begins its upward trajectory. Now this does have a double meaning because it represents the Jesus coming out of the tomb, but it also represents Jesus being born, because these things are never just one thing, they're always multi-layered. So 30 days after December 25th, the sun is in Aquarius. 30 years after Jesus is born, he enters into the river and gets baptized by John the Baptist. John the Baptist is the man of the water. Aquarius is the water bearer. After Jesus / the sun gets baptized, it moves on through Pisces, doing all of the spiritual work, and then it gets to Aries, where it becomes the offering to God, the sacrifice. The ancients called it the Ram of God, come to take away the cold of the winter. Christians later changed that to the Lamb of God, come to take away the sins of the world. Easter and Christmas are so double layered it's not even funny. Because while I said that the sun traveling through Pisces after Aquarius represents the spiritual work between the baptism and the crucifixion, it also represents the time after the resurrection, all the way up to that Aries ascension, when Jesus ascended to the heavens. Okay, Santa Claus. There is a part of the brain called the Santa Claustrum. On the day that the moon goes into your sun sign, the Santa Claustrum will release a drop of fluid that goes all the way down your spine and sits at the very bottom, at the fusion of 5 vertebrae called the stone. This is why in the story of Jacob, he laid his head on a stone. So from the Santa Claustrum, the Santa Claus goes down your chimney, chi in me, all the way down to the bottom. And if you follow the exact steps that come from observing the story of Jesus and watching the sun move through the zodiac, you will activate the right hemisphere of your brain. This is why Jesus said, cast your net to the right side. This is why when the sun is in Leo and it is King of Kings and Lord of Lords, it sits in the eastern sky, the right side. Everything right, nothing left. Shout out to my man 777 Truth. Because on the day that the moon goes into your sun sign, that drop of fluid goes down and you have to raise it all 33 levels of vertebrae. This is why Jesus died at 33, because at the top of the 33rd vertebrae, there's a nerve junction. There's 2 nerves that come together, making the shape of a cross. You have to raise the Christos, Christ oil. Oil is an anagram for Leo. Leo is the sun. You have to raise this oil, all 33 levels of vertebrae, let it get crucified on the cross, where it'll go to the pituitary gland, which represents the feminine, and it secretes milk. And also the pineal gland. The pineal Peniel represents the masculine, and it secretes honey. The land of milk and honey. This is the promised land, spoken about in the Old Testament. The Israelites had to wander around in the desert for 40 years before they could go to the promised land. Why? Because in order for this to work, you have to be in at least a 4-day fast. Start fasting a day or so before the moon goes into your sun sign, and when it leaves, you have been there for 4 days, and 40 is just 4 because 4 plus 0 is 4, and everything's just numerology and astrology. We're still not done. It goes deeper. The sun's name is Sol. It is the solar system. You have a solar plexus. How important is the solar plexus? The solar plexus is you, essentially. You are a sun. You are made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Guess what? So are the stars. But as above, so below. The stars are you and you are them. This also works directly in you. The sun is the dividing line. As above, so below. So be Leo. Leo is the sun. Leo is ego. Guess what else is ego? The number 9. Number 9 represents human consciousness. It represents earth. It represents you. The word Adam equals 9 in Hebrew. It says I will, I do, I speak, I see. It is the knowledge that you yourself exist. Anything below the solar plexus. This is 666. This is beast consciousness. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. But if you raise the chrism oil up, shoot it up to the pineal and pituitary gland, well, that's 144,000. Multiply the number of petals on the Hindu chakra system by 1,000, you get 144,000. This is the 144,000 saved souls. And this only happens if you raise the Christos oil all the way up to your brain, get it all completed, and activate the right hemisphere of your brain. And this is Christ consciousness. There is no other way. There is only this one. If you give in to lust, if you give in to the food need, consume processed sugar, speak ill of your brother, the Santa Claustrum, the Santa Claus, is not going to give you gifts. He's going to give you cold. Because the Santa Claustrum will secrete this stuff called neuromelanin. It's like little black particles that go into your bloodstream, causing you to age, causing you to have chronic illness. If you've been naughty, you get cold. But if you're good and you do all of this stuff and you follow all of the steps, then your spinal fluid gets regenerated. You basically get all new spinal fluid. Your blood cells get regenerated. You get all new blood. Dead and dormant brain cells become reactivated. The right hemisphere of your brain becomes activated for the first time in your life. You grew up thinking that you were either right-brained or left-brained. No, everyone was left-brained. You have to activate the right hemisphere. You're not born with that. And this is why by raising the oil, achieving your Christ consciousness, following all the steps, Jesus will sit at the right hand of the Father. The Son will sit in the eastern sky. You'll be at a frequency of 144,000. You will have enlightenment. No, you're not gonna levitate off the ground. That's not what any of this means. But if you do it, you'll know. So give it a shot. Here's the steps. 1. Know what your sun sign is. Most people do. If you call yourself a Cancer, then you're a sun sign Cancer. That's basically people born between June 20th and fucking July 20th. Most people know their sign. So whatever you consider your sign, that's your sun sign. Know where the moon is, know where it's going. Between full moons, the moon will travel through all zodiacs, all 12. When the moon goes into your sun sign, the process has started, but you want to know when it's gonna go in there so you can begin your fast minimum 1 to 2 days before. But what kind of fast? Only consume mineral water. If you must drink coffee, cool, make it out of mineral water. No processed sugars, no animal products, so no cream, no milk. The only thing I can suggest is coconut milk. It's the healthiest option you got. If you need a sweetener, use honey, use stevia. When it comes to food, no animal products, no processed sugar. Only vegan product. But seriously, you don't want to do anything other than like berries and nuts. Keep it simple. No leafy greens and no animal products. No cigarettes or anything like that. No alcohol. No nutting. You cannot expel any type of sexual energy, men and women both. You have to give up the things of the flesh, the thing that the carnal mind wants, that 666, that beast consciousness. You have to give all of that up. Everyone has to carry their cross. Stay in a positive, meditative mindset. Meditate heavy. Is it easy? No. But nothing worth having ever is. I just got done with mine. And for those of you who ask how long does it take, it's only this 4-day process. Once the moon has gone into the next sign and it has left your sun sign, your fast is over. Grab you a cheeseburger and enjoy yourself. You did good, kid. My fast actually ended yesterday. Today is the sun sign Cancer's day. And guess what? Today, I will be having me a big ass juicy cheeseburger because I earned it. If you stuck around this long, look, if you want a no nonsense down to earth reading and you want to know what your sun sign is, your moon sign is, if you want to know what your Mercury, Venus, and Mars and all your planetaries are, click the link in my bio. Either choose the Gospel of You reading or the Bible of You reading. We're giving the divinity back to you. Both of those contain astrology. The Gospel is more for beginners. The Bible is more for the advanced. Use the promo code Jupiter and get 20% off of those readings all the way up until December 2nd. Catch y'all in the next video. Okay, gather around.
So, yeah, fasting is a good thing. The longest I have done a fast, believe it or not, is 62 days. And I'm talking 62 days. Mind you, I was working a very physical job. I was building I had already designed, I was building network infrastructure for a multi-billion-dollar operation, 6 million square feet, and we're in it during all of it, start to finish. So it was construction. So hard hat, I had steel toe boots, I had vest, all of that. And at a certain point, I couldn't tell you why, but could not eat. But things changed after that happened. So I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat anything at all. But I knew that I needed energy. Don't drink coffee. Take in caffeine, false energy. But I did take a lot of green juice and a lot of things like that. Sea moss, to give give my body the nutrients that I was missing from fasting. But it wasn't my choice to fast. I just physically could not eat. I tried, and I would take a bite of something and it screwed me all up. I would vomit it out. So I ended up going for just over 2 months without ever eating a bite. Ever bite. This is no joke. Did this. My family was worried because I had to do physical things on my job, even though, architect and an engineer, I still had to do physical things because we're building this massive campus, and I was the lead of my team. So, but at the end, it did so much more for me than I could ever imagine. That I was able to see, manifest. I'm talking manifestations that would come not instantly, but extremely fast. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, "Oh, I manifest this and it just happened." No, it sometimes it took hours. Sometimes it took a day or two, but it happened. But for some reason, I could not eat at all, and it was truly a blessing. And I stuck with that practice to this day. So, and I still do. I've always fasted since I was a child, but as a child, I'm talking 5, 6, 7 years old, I would fast for 2 or 3 days, and even as an adult, I would fast for maybe 7 days, 10 days. This was the first time I ever did this, and it's not because I wanted to. It's because I had no choice. I was not able to eat. But what happens when you fast is your body starts to eat all of that bad stuff in you, all of the contaminants in your skin, all of the bad stuff within your body. Your body eats all of that up, then you expel it one way or the other. But it eats, it targets, it specifically targets all of that bad stuff. And then when you're done with your fast, come anew. You're reawakened anew, and you understand it. And I couldn't explain it to you if I tried. I just know that I couldn't eat. I tried many times, didn't work. So I knew I needed energy because I had a job, not super physical, but physical job, and I needed that energy because having no energy, having no kind of attention span, and you're having to drive to work, you're driving your work vehicle or an ATV, and you're trying to manage your teams. I needed to have that kind of energy, that mental fortitude, to have that. and I was able to find it, and I still have no idea how I got through it, how I did it, and it seems preposterous. It seems insane for me to sit here and say, yeah, for 62 days I didn't eat a drop of food, but that's the honest to God truth. And I don't know what he's talking about. That's not my experience, so I can't really comment on if it's true, if it's not. I'm just telling you my experience. But fasting, I know for a scientific fact, does go in there, and the first thing it starts to munch on is all of the bad stuff with the body. So it's like, you regrow everything. You grow every part of your skin, your whole body, all of your skin. You that every year. Cells regenerate. The only thing that you can't regenerate, the only thing that the human body cannot regrow are brain cells. Once you start killing off brain cells, they're gone. They are kaput. They're gone. Can't get those back. But then that's where stem cell technology started to come in. And they're like, well, if we can get these stem cells into people, this will bring them back to a much younger state wherever we put these stem cells. So that's the new thing.
Gary's cells must be getting low again. He's talking shit. I get it, man. You need somebody relevant to mention your name, so here's your shout out. If y'all haven't figured it out by now, Gary doesn't like me because all the information that he claims to gatekeep, I give away for free. And I would hope that you have never claimed to be a god. Look at you. And before you ask, because I know somebody is, how do I know he's talking about me? Because I'm the only one that he's had beef with that runs around telling everybody that they're gods. And yes, everybody is a god, even if they're like him, and they're the god of high cholesterol. And since you conveniently brought up people that know 5% of what you know, I'm gonna let you in on 5% of what I know. The house that you purchased in the street number of 18. 1 plus 8 is 9, but I thought you said the 9 wasn't a special number. The gematria of the street name of the house that you bought, well, that equals 81, and 8 plus 1 is 9. But once again, you said there's nothing special about the number 9. And to be such a strong, masculine alpha male like you portray, you put it in your wife's name? And no, Gary, this isn't doxing. After all, I didn't use any specifics. I'm just letting you know that I know. The 5% I'm letting you in on anyway. Also, this whole next year thing, I really hope you're not making another prediction. That's not your strong suit, my man. You predicted that my account would be gone back in September, then October, even in November. Yet it's December, almost January, and I'm still here. Going into the new year. Year of the dragon, right? But I'm a year of the pig, how does that matter? Oh yeah, day of the dragon. Hey, why don't you ever talk about the day animal, or the hour animal, or the month animal? Why come you don't talk about the elements? Have you only acquired 5% of the information? Let me know if you need a mentor, I got you. And if you want to get a reading, the link is in the bio. I might could teach you.
Did he just really say, why come?
Artificial intelligence. And although the Zeta Grays are highly intelligent and have advanced technology, can, travel vast distances in space, they are lacking emotion, so they can't ascend into the higher dimensions because they don't have laughter, they don't have love, they don't know what these things are. So they had to, I guess, regress in their evolution and create a different species, and then create a hybrid species so that they can connect their spirit to it, so that they can actually gain a soul. So this is what they're using mankind for, because they're trying to ascend into the higher dimensions. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to use mankind to achieve, achieve enlightenment, because they can't do it themselves, because they've merged their DNA with technology. Now, the difference with black people is that black people are from the 5th and 6th dimension physically. Our bodies are from that realm. And that's why we're filled with the soul DNA, from the Aurora Borealis energy. Everybody's spirit and everybody's soul comes from the black hole sun. Everybody in this realm, we all come from the higher dimensions, 5th, 6th realm. But our bodies physically are from that realm. And the mankind, the clone generations created by...
I thought it was black hole sun, not black pole sun. I might be wrong. Somebody tell me if I'm correct. Leave it in the comments. I might be wrong. I always thought it was Black Hole Song, because there's a song specifically called that. I've never heard Black Pole Sun. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think.
By mankind, they're from this realm. They never existed in the other realm physically, but spiritually they were. So this is what I'm trying to explain to y'all, how what's going on. We're actually physically from the 5th and 6th dimension. This is the reason why we're connected to the sun, and we can absorb the solar rays, right? And understanding that the sun doesn't produce any light. All the light that comes from the sun is coming from the black sun, and it's just emanating its light and towards our sun, and our sun in the sky just reflects the light on Earth. So that light doesn't even come from the sun. It comes from the black sun, which is the portal that we came through, black people, from the 5th and 6th dimension. And like I said, the realm that we came from, we already had pyramids and vast technology. If you was to go through the black sun and go to the other worlds that's there, because there's multiple worlds, it's the timeless zone, you would see, you know, structures like the pyramids and advanced technology like you see on the walls of Egypt.
Alexa, why can't I buy Skittles in Europe?
From thesun.com. Skittles, as well as Pop-Tarts, Gatorade, and Little Debbie's products, have been banned in the European Union because they contain yellow 5, yellow 6, and red 40 food dyes, according to NBC affiliate station WTHR.
Alexa, what?
I'm going to pause this right here. So, I don't know if you all remember back in the day when we used to look up the ingredients in these things like Mountain Dew Yellow Number 5. Yellow Number 5 will cause things like anal leakage. I remember that was the big thing, because at the time I had zero idea. You know, I'm not sure I was even a teenager at the time, or I might have been just 13. I was like, what is anal leakage? They're putting this in the, and this is when I had moved. I'm like, what is Yellow Number 5? You know, it causes anal leakage. What is my anus going to be leaking? You know, it's just so confusing. Yeah, it's strange.
Why is yellow dye dangerous in food?
Here's something I found on the healthsite.com. It is not only highly toxic to the liver but also known to cause kidney lesions and is a probable carcinogen.
Yikes. Alexa, why are carcinogens found in so many processed foods in the United States?
From tasteofhome.com. Processed foods tend to contain saturated fats and loads of sodium, while processed meats are known carcinogens and can be age-producing.
Alexa, what are some of the reasons some of U.S. foods are banned in other countries?
U.S. foods are banned in other countries because they contain harmful additives, growth promoters, and genetically engineered ingredients, which are known to cause diseases and health conditions. American foods are tainted with harmful ingredients, which are banned internationally, and are designed to satiate the unaware American appetite.
I'll take that. Alexa, why?
So I'll go ahead and say this. You can get a lot of those same foods in Europe. They're just made differently. Because, and I used to say this, and I still do sometimes, all of the turmoil going on in this world, these countries give an F about their citizens. They actually care. You're not going to find GMOs in Europe, no, because I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy that owns Monsanto is the guy that created the GMOs. And the same man that created heart medication, also the same guy that created Roundup. So, you know, they're covering their bases. They're covering their bases all around. If this causes this, then we need to create the, not the cure, but the thing that helps you with this. This causes heart palpitations, if this causes heart disease, then we need to create medicine that helps with that disease. Not cures the disease, helps with the symptoms of the disease. I've seen that for a fact. I've been to 30 countries. I've seen a lot of foods. You can go to, Japan has, 150 McDonald's? But the McDonald's that you eat there is not going to be the same thing you eat here. It's based on their culture, and it has to go by their regulatory laws when it comes to food. Their version of the FDA. Our FDA is horrible. Our FDA is the worst thing out there. And I'm going to tell you that now. Not look at something and say, oh, it's FDA approved, it must be good for you. No, absolutely not. They are in bed with everyone else, senators, congressmen, they're in bed with all these other people. That's why they allow these bad things to enter our body. These horrible nutrients, these things that kill off our organs, cause us to be sick. That's why the FDA allows that. They allow 8% lead in your water. So if I gave you a glass of completely pure water, just totally pure, and I'm like, hey, you thirsty? Have this. By the way, it's got 8% lead in it, but the FDA says it's fine, so it's all good. Would you drink that? Would you drink that? Hell no, you wouldn't drink that. You'd be like, what? It's got 8% lead? I don't even know what percent of anything else is in here, but 8% lead? I don't even want 0.5% of lead in here. Lead poisoning is so harmful, If I allowed you a little bit of mercury in your stuff, would you drink that? Eat it? No. That's what Cinderella comes from, the Mad Hatter. They used mercury making those things, and because they were sniffing mercury when they were making it, it made them as mad as a hatter, and that's where that term comes from. Don't want any of this. Don't trust the FDA. Don't trust any of this stuff. Telling you this for a fact. I know this for a fact. Do not trust any of it. You can go look it up. Go to EWG.com. I donate to them every month. They can tell you anywhere you live. Type in your zip code and they will tell you where you get your water from. And they do these tests, these treatments on this water. They've even sent me one, and I've tested my own tap water and sent it back to them. So they know exactly where my water comes from and what's in my water. I filter everything. I do not let my family drink any kind of tap water, anything like that, if it's not filtered. And I'm not talking about just a Brita filter. I'm talking about serious filters. They cost a little bit more, but I'm talking about filtering out fluoride, filtering out carcinogens, filtering out lead, all of these things, filtering this out of your water. That's what you need to do. That's one of the first biggest steps, Or do like me and, drink beer after work. Because I know beer has been distilled, but one good thing you can get is an osmosis machine. You can get them. They're not that expensive, between $300 and $400 on Amazon. Get you an osmosis machine, so that way you can distill your water and it takes everything out of it, and it actually puts in vital minerals that the body needs. So you don't want pure, just completely pure water. You don't want that, because that does nothing for your body. You need electrolytes. You need things that are gonna be good for your body. You don't want just empty water. It's dead water. That does nothing for your body. Nothing at all. You want water that's got electrolytes, that's got a high pH level. Not super high, but you want a balanced pH level in your water. You don't want this dead water. And there's been so many news reports, and I'll make a video on this too. There's been so many reports showing, hey, this water that they're giving you is just filtered tap water, and it's not even that filtered, because the FDA will allow them to put, this amount of these carcinogens, or this amount of lead, or this amount of whatever. Even chocolate, I forget the amount, so I don't want to say something incorrectly, but even chocolate, they allow a certain amount of insect parts in your chocolate. I can't remember the specific ratio, if it's like 2 parts per gram or what, but they allow insect parts into your chocolate. Me being European, I grew up eating German and Swiss chocolate. That's highly regulated. No issue there. And then when I came here, chocolate just tasted weird to me. I'm like, what is this? Is this supposed to be chocolate? Like, what is this? Is this supposed to be cheese? I've never tasted this. What the hell is this? What's Velveeta? What are these slices? We don't have that. We go to a deli or a delicatessen, we've got butchers, and they make it on a weekly basis and a daily basis. Cheese is aged, so you don't make it every day. But certain meats, same thing. You can get it daily or you can get it aged, and they'll cut off a slice and let you taste it before you buy it. No, you don't have that here, but over there it has to meet a certain standard, and the standards are high. That's one thing I will give to Western Europe compared to the rest of the world.
Why are Pop-Tarts dangerous?
Some health risks commonly associated with eating too much Pop-Tarts may include increasing the risk of cancer, diabetes, obesity, hypertension and heart diseases, causing weight gain, dehydration, inflammation, tooth decay, hyperactivity, and fatigue.
Damn, for a Pop-Tart. Alexa, how do food producers in the U.S. use deceptive labeling practices?
From CourseHero.com. Deceptive packaging includes exaggerating package contents through subtle design, using misleading labeling, or describing size in misleading terms.
Alexa, why do cuts of meat look so big?
Meat processors use enzymes to bind smaller cuts of beef and pork, allowing them to form larger, consistently sized, and uniformly shaped steaks. This process, known as enzymatic beefification, has come under recent scrutiny for its impact on food safety and quality. While the practice may enhance the appearance and appeal of meat products, consumers should be aware of the potential trade-offs in terms of taste, texture, and nutrition. Further research is needed to fully understand the implications of enzymatic beefification and its effects on the overall eating experience.
Yikes.
After World War II, which is just like strange because that's not really a target. Now, I mean, could this just be a block of ice in the shape of a ship? Well, yeah, but I mean, look at it. It just looks weird. Now, normally, if this was just off the coast of England or something, you'd just think, right, just a little sunken ship, or it's just ice, whatever. But it's the fact it's here with all these other theories and people that are going there. It's just a bit sus, right? But who knows? It could be a warship from the war that's just sunk there. It could, like I say, literally just be a block of ice in the shape of a ship. I mean, that would be quite funny. But yeah, who knows? We don't actually know what this is. So yeah, please let me know in the comments down below your thoughts.
Okay, so I just wanted to talk about what he's saying real quick. You can get these foods in Europe, in Western Europe, where I'm from, but they don't have the same ingredients because they're held to a higher standard, much higher standard than they're held to here. So I remember when I was roughly 13 or so, and I had been in the US just for, short amount of time, year and a half, and I had been introduced to Mountain Dew. And I was looking at the ingredients, and I saw these things like yellow number 5, yellow number 6, and I didn't know what they were. So, I grew up with a library with about, 3 to 4,000 books in them. So I just went and looked it up, and it said that it caused things like anal leakage. I had no idea what anal leakage was, and to this day, I still really don't, because I don't know what's leaking out of your anus, from this chemical. But we don't have that kind of stuff in Europe. So, yeah, we have snacks, we have cookies, we have German chocolate, we have mostly German and Swiss chocolate, which are, the best in the world, just the best. Nothing beats that. But the difference is, we're held to a higher standard. Our countries don't let you put all of this crap in our food that the US does. The US allows 8% lead in your water. So if you're parched and I'm like, hey bro, I got some water for you here, but it's got 8% lead in it, but the FDA says, that's all right. Would you drink that? 8% lead? Would you really drink that? Even your chocolate, I don't want to be misquoted or say the wrong thing, so I'm not going to say, what it is, because I can't remember, but the FDA also allows a certain amount of bug parts in your chocolate. I'm talking Hershey's, Mr. Good bars, all of your chocolate. They've even found human body parts, but that's a rarity. That doesn't happen often. But as far as chocolate goes, they allow a certain amount of bug bits in your chocolate. You know that. Did you know that? They allow. So when you go, you get a Snickers bar, you get a Hershey's bar, you get a Mr. Good bar, whatever chocolate you get, the FDA allows a certain amount of bug bits into that food, and you're eating it. Not to mention all the other stuff that they make, the wax and all of this stuff. See, in Europe, we have delicatessens or delis. So we go there, the food's made, well, certain foods aren't made daily. So cheese, you want your cheese aged because it tastes a lot better. And some of your meats you want aged because they taste better. But there's nothing wrong with that. That's natural. That's how you're supposed to eat them. It gives it more flavor. Different ages gives it different types of flavors. That's just a normal thing. But at no point will you find bugs, lead, mercury. Even certain things have. Some waters have mercury in it. It's sad. It's 2023. And there's mercury and and lead and all of the fluoride, all of these things in your water. Go to ewg.com. I donate to them every single month. I've even got a test pack from them. So you can type in your zip code. They can tell you exactly where you get your water from. And they're fighting the good fight to purify our water. And so you don't even have to donate. I donate, and they send you a test kit. And you take your tap water, put it in there, seal it up, send it back to them, and they know it's in that water. That's how they figure it out. But you can literally type that in anywhere. Type in your zip code, and they'll tell you where you get your water from and what's actually in that water versus what the government tells you. And we all need to be doing that kind of thing. You can donate $5, $1, whatever, but they will send you that test kit. And I donate every month because I'm a proponent of what they're doing. I love what they're doing. They're trying to show us what's in our water. Mercury, mercury. Do you have any idea how dangerous it is to sniff mercury? Back in the day when they used to make hats, they would use mercury in their hats, and you have to heat mercury up, and so then you inhale mercury. Mercury, messes with your brain, makes you go crazy, and that's why they call, like in Alice in Wonderland, you're as mad as a hatter, or the Mad Hatter, because the hat maker used to sniff mercury and it makes them go crazy, so they're as mad as a hatter, a Mad Hatter. But you don't want any of this for your family. You don't want any. I know if you have a family, if you have loved ones, I know you don't want that. So get yourself filters. And I'm not talking about a Brita filter. I'm not talking about these little cheap filters. I'm talking about, save up a little bit. The best ones, $300 to $400, you can get an osmosis machine. So this is distilling your water. This is taking the water from your tap and it's distilling it, taking everything out of it. But not only that, it's upping the pH in it, which you need a higher pH. You want more. You're starting to hear these words now, alkaline water, but most of the stuff you buy in the stores is BS. It's not alkaline at all. It's tap water that's just been filtered a little bit. But they actually, when you get these little machines, they do osmosis, and then they add these minerals to them that bump the pH up. So that's what you need. Also, you need things that are going to filter every little thing down. I'm talking 99.9999999% of microns. Filter everything. Get everything out, but add the good stuff in. Because if you just filter everything out and that's it does your body no good. You need electrolytes. You need a higher pH. You need alkaline water. You don't want anything acidic. Acidic is the opposite of alkaline. You need alkaline water. You need minerals, certain minerals in your body. And back in the day, this would come from the mountains. It would filter through the ground, through all of this stuff. And then when it comes out to these creeks, it's beautiful, natural, beautifully great tasting water. Can't get that anymore. Well, you can in certain areas, but it's very, very rare. Like West Virginia, the mountains in Kentucky, some of the places in Tennessee, but it's very rare. But if you're just drinking, completely purified or filtered water, it does you zero good. Nothing. It does nothing for you. All it does is wet your palate. Your body's not receiving any minerals. You need minerals and nutrients in your water. So that's the big thing. And I wouldn't feed my family any of that crap, but fluoride, chlorine, these things are extremely hard to filter. And that's why you need an osmosis machine. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them. Mostly Amazon is the best place, but even Temu has some of them. And they actually work. And I'm going to be making some videos on this stuff to help you guys see what it does. But just understand, you need electrolytes. If you want to know my personal preference for something to get electrolytes, I have these powders, but they're expensive, man. Like I can't afford them. You pay $30 and you get 6 packets, of this stuff to give you electrolytes after you've worked out and you've been sweating a lot. It replenishes your electrolytes. That's hell of expensive. But you can. There's a lot of other options that you have, but you have to replace the electrolytes, have to replace the minerals, and you have to up the pH because all of this crap you're taking in reduces that. And like I said, you go to other countries. I think Japan has like 150 McDonald's. You're not going to find any of the BS in the food here that you wouldn't find that in the McDonald's in Japan. You know, it's based on culture. Russia has McDonald's. Germany has McDonald's. You know, but our McDonald's have to follow our country's regulations. Your country, US, has to follow the FDA, and the FDA is just as corrupt as anything else out there. Trust me on that. Or don't trust me. Go look it up for yourselves. They are corrupt. They allow so much because they don't care. It's a corporation. This country has turned into a corporation. So just understand that. Don't trust the FDA. Don't trust anything that they say is safe. You know, look what we just went through, you know, back in 2021 with the, you know, jabbing thing, you know, trying to tell you that, you know, this is safe and all of this, you know, just don't listen to that. And you've got so many dumb people out here that are doing dumb things like, you know, these challenges like, you know, Tide Pods, and they're actually putting Tide Pods in their mouth. Tide Pods. You know what Tide Pods are? Cleaning detergent for your clothes. Putting those, that's a challenge. So one part of me wants to say, hey, let them all go through that, and you let Darwinism just take them out, you know, and the strongest survive. But another part of me, you know, the biggest part of me wants to help, you know, any knowledge I have, you know, and any knowledge anyone else has that I don't have. You know, information should be free. All of this great information, this good information that we need should be free. But people are hoarding this information. Doing what I do for a living, I've been an advocate for freedom of information for decades. You know, I've been an activist for so long when it comes to free information. I don't think that you should hoard information. I don't think that it should be legal to keep good information away from people. Now, if you're talking about, you know, business and how you do things and da da da, yeah, you can hoard that. But I'm talking about human rights, natural rights, things that make your body better. That should be free. All of this stuff should be free. Our history, our true history, should be free. All of this stuff should be free. We should not have to fight for it. But we're fighting for it because we're fighting against a corrupt government. So that's where we need to come together with our little bits and pieces of information. You know, I've got a few pieces here. You might have a few pieces. And 2,000 other people might have a few pieces, and we get together and put all that together. Then we start to go through it all, and we're like, hey, well, this is what's actually real. This is what's right, you know, not any of this. So we can scratch all of this out and go with this. And we do that over and over, and we come to the truth. That's my whole point. That's what I'm trying to do. But trust me when I tell you, do not trust the FDA. Do not trust the FDA. Don't trust your local water supply. Don't drink your local water supply. If all you can afford is a Brita filter, great. That's a start. Start somewhere. But you know what? You want to move up to where you can distill your own water. It doesn't take long, you know. It does not take long at all. And the thing is, you know, personally, I don't know if you guys know this, Germans, we don't use ice at all, you know, so I have no need for an ice maker. I like everything room temperature, just like most Germans do. And, you know, so it's not an issue for me to sit there and, you know, put water, you know, fill my osmosis machine up with water and then filter all of that and it's adding in the minerals that my body needs, and it's upping the pH on it, and then it's taking out the things that are difficult to take out. And I'm talking fluoride, I'm talking chlorine, I'm talking bits of mercury, lead, all of these things that people don't think about. That's what you want to get rid of. So that's my spiel on that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm dead serious. I want to know what you think. I want to communicate with you all. I read them, I reply if you haven't noticed. I've even shouted out a couple of people, even one that was not so good, but I still shouted him out because I'm not mad at what he said. So, let's have this conversation. And if you guys get anything from this, I hope it helps you. I hope it helps your family and loved ones. And, let's figure all this out together. It's not just one of us here. We're a community. And we've got to come together as a group to understand everything. Like I said, none of us have the whole picture, but with enough of us having little bits and pieces of the picture, we can come together and understand a much, much bigger version of the picture than we ever could on our own. So that's my spiel, that's my piece, and I'll see you guys on the next one.